this is like fun with other, running friends. So I'm like, I'm going to do it because I knew it would put me in a good mood.
You are my BRF.
What's happening, Eric?
There for your victory lap.
Yeah.
Whoa!
How did that happen?
How did you do that?
And all of a sudden I go to zip it up and I'm like, why is the zipper in the front right now? 0 out of 10 on the recommendation scale.
I am literally crying from laughter and from so much love. Oh my God.
It's like icing off for your cornhole.
And he just smashed Arnie like that and said, you stay out of this, Arnie. And I thought,
I don't run to stay sober. I get to run because I am.
And there she was, a halo over her head.
No, it's not freaking true. Okay.
And he steps to the side and just gestures. Here's the tinkle pot.
I don't need to tinkle.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 209 of the On the Runs podcast. The Barkley Marathons is over quicker than you could light a cigarette. The Olympics are in full swing, and it even has the winners confessing that they cheated on their girlfriends. Michael Jordan is a Daytona 500 champion, and we have an amazing guest on today's pod. But before we get to any of that, I must say hello to my kick-ass rockstar of a co-host, 6-star Erica. What's up?
What's going on, buddy? Happy day off. I hope you had the day off. I actually did for a change. It was wonderful. And now I get to talk to you
had
earlier
the day
than
off.
usual.
People gave me a hard time. They're
Why?
like, dude, don't you work? And I'm like, guys, it's a federal it's President's Day, actually. It's Washington's birthday. That's a little teaser. We have an amazing guest today who dressed up as George Washington. But yeah, I'm like, I have the day off. Like, don't you? And they're like, no, I don't have the day off. We don't celebrate this day. I'm like, well, that's not my fault. They're jealous that I was. Well, they thought I was skiing because I posted a skiing photo today because skiing.
That's usually what you do. You do a lot of work from home, quote unquote, days at the mountain.
Well, work from the mountain. I'm working.
It's hard to tell.
But I am taking Wednesday off.
Yeah?
Guess what? Guess what I'm doing on Wednesday?
Going skiing?
Yep. I'll be skiing on Wednesday at J Peak, actually. Gonna be an early morning, 6 a.m. start, picking up my buddy an hour up the road, skiing all day at J.
Nice.
It's gonna be a great day. Fingers crossed, The weather lately has been incredible. If you are a runner, you should not be complaining about this weather, or the cold, or the snow, because it has been so perfect for running. I've been running. Have you? Did you go running? I don't know.
I did. Sorry you didn't get the invite, but so I will always complain about cold. I just am not meant to be cold. That's just my body. I don't know. But this weekend was actually perfect weather. Like, I went Sunday for a long run and the sun was shining, and what a difference just having the sun be out, how much of a difference it makes. It's insane. So the 35-degree weather made it feel like I was like, I don't know, I could have been swimming in like the Pacific Ocean and surfing and having a blast. Yeah.
Absolutely. It feels incredible. Like, you can go from your truck, your car, to the door, wherever you're going, and you're not like preparing yourself for 12 seconds of misery. You're like, this isn't that bad. It's been great. So this is...
I didn't have to psych myself up. You're right.
Right. This is kind of that time, that crossover when you're feeling it, starting to feel better, but it snowed so much and it's cold enough at night to keep it in the mountains, and the skiing's incredible. And I'm picking up the miles again. You're crushing the miles, just not inviting your podcast friend to go running with you, but I digress.
Hey, I will throw them out to you, man. If you want to come suffer with us during a long run, you're more than welcome to, weather permitting.
Well, I will join you when I get that invite, if I can make it. But what have you been up to? I know you've been crushing the Olympics lately, right? Have you been did you follow the Barkley's Marathon at all? Like, what have you been up to now?
You know what? Usually this is the time of year whenever the Barkley's does come out. There's a guy named Keith Dunn, and he will post all of his updates on X or Twitter or whatever it is. And that's the only reason I will pay attention to that app, is to just get these updates. But this year it happened way earlier than usual, and it was so short-lived. Like, the mountain won. Like,
right.
Like, Barkley's,
I heard the weather was nasty.
Won. Exactly.
Like, that's nasty weather. The rain, the hurricane-like winds. Yeah. That's worse than what we have up here.
And you are out there for so long, and it's so cold and miserable. Like, there were no finishers this year. So this was a very, very quick Barkley's. And yeah, I really didn't like, I wasn't glued to it this year. It was weird. I don't know.
I feel like
do
the
enjoy it,
Barkleys
though.
has kind of fallen off though. Years ago, you
It
saw
is, but
all
it's
the
not.
YouTube documentaries and people vlogging it, and you got more
Mhm.
than just what Keith posted on X. Like, you had
Mhm.
everyone talking about it, and it's not, I don't know. You said earlier, it's not mainstream anymore. I don't
Well,
think it
it
ever
is.
was.
It's very well known in the ultra world, and especially after Jasmine Paris won. I think that was 2024. Like, she was the first female finisher of the entire thing, like the 5 laps. And ever since she did that, like, there hasn't been any finishers. Like, nobody's
Right.
beat it in the past couple of years. So it just kind of has been like, whamp, whamp, whamp. So I don't know. Yeah. Next year is a new year.
Did you watch the Daytona 500? You're a race fan. You're turning into one. Our guest today talked about it a little bit. She said the science and everything behind it. And you're into F1. Did you watch?
No. I did not
Erica.
even know that was this weekend. I've been glued to the Olympics.
There were more passes for the lead in the final 2 laps than there are in an entire F1 season.
So I could just watch 2 laps and be
True.
like
Yeah.
riveted.
But you could just watch 1 lap of an F1 race and you know who wins by turn 1. Like, I still don't
Honestly,
understand why you love F1.
I mean, I don't know. Brandon liked it, so that's why I watched it. And he doesn't do NASCAR, so it's in the house. But we haven't watched either this, like, in the past few years since we got rid of our cable, so we don't have an easy way to do it.
You know,
and yeah,
I was just telling somebody that I don't have cable, but they're like, how do you watch? I'm like, because Adeline wanted to watch the Olympics, right? And I'm like, no, we watch the Olympics or whatever, the opening ceremonies or something, right? Like, we have the DirecTV app, and we just log into my parents' account. Like, yeah, I'm 40 and I'm logging into my parents' DirecTV app account. But I'm like, I'm not paying $180 to watch a couple Bruins games a year.
Yep.
But we have that app on the smart TV and it works perfectly. It's
useful.
amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been watching the Olympics. We have the Peacock app from, like, I get it for free from, I think, Xfinity, just for like having internet. They're like, here, have an app, but it's got commercials and it's so annoying. And so we'll watch like 2 seconds of downhill skiing. And
not for like free content. Like, do you like? I'm
the
not the one
same
who's going to
commercial.
buy the $30 Disney Plus plan to have commercial free when I can pay $8 a month to have a couple commercials before a movie. Like, I go make the popcorn during the commercial.
This is different because for the Olympics, there's probably 120 seconds of commercials every 10 minutes, and it's really annoying. So
how is that different than watching Boy Meets World when you were a kid?
Now we have the luxury of being able to skip all these commercials. So you get used to it. And I do pay for like Disney Plus without ads and stuff, and it's wonderful. I just hate.
Well, it must be nice having that kind of money.
I split it with Brandon, so I'm not shelling out all of it. But oh man.
Well, you know who you could talk to
Hmm.
about that kind of stuff and making more money. You could talk to our political leaders, like maybe some of our founding fathers, maybe some people who, have built this country, and maybe they run this
Mr.
country.
Washington.
Or maybe they just run marathons. We have an amazing guest today.
That's more like it. That's the president I want to talk to. Mr. Washington.
We
How
have
did
a
your
really
marathon
cool guest
go?
today. This is fun. She reached out to us last summer after having, it was John Mortimer, and when we started doing the live shows from Millennium, and she's from New Hampshire. She might have lost her way and gone to another state, but she's a local from New Hampshire. She has some really cool connecting the dots we realized very early on in this episode, and that's why I mentioned NASCAR Daytona, and I'll talk about it more in the outro with you. But it was a lot of fun talking to Kayla Zwirko, and you guys, if you don't know her now, get used to getting to know her because you're going to hear her voice a lot more at future races here in New Hampshire. Erica, tell us a little more.
You guys, she fits right in with us. She is just so full of life and fun that you're instantly going to want to go say hello and get to know her better because she just brings out the best in people, wants to make you smile, and wants the best from you. So you guys are going to absolutely love Kayla.
Absolutely, guys. So enjoy Kayla on the On the Runs podcast, and we'll see you on the other side. Our next guest on the pod is a New Hampshire runner who might have lost her way and moved outside New England to Connecticut, but she never lost her love for running and has built an incredible run club with a social agenda that you might have seen recently across your social feeds. Running as the founding fathers in the Philadelphia Marathon. She's in the middle of her 6-star journey, and she's getting geared up for Tokyo in a couple weeks, and we're wicked excited to have her on the podcast. Kayla Zwirko, a.k.a. Coach K, welcome to the On the Runs podcast. What's up?
Thanks. Eric, right off the bat, I have to fact check you. Connecticut still is in New England.
No.
Don't do this
Incorrect.
to me. I'm a New
Hot
England
take,
girl.
hot take.
Incorrect. Connecticut is not part of New England. Fact check me all you want. It will never be.
Ooh.
Oh, that makes me so sad because I'm just such a New England girl. Ugh. We will have to agree to disagree on this one.
I guess you could divide Connecticut in half. There must be like some kind of line.
There is.
Because, there's a line where you're a Yankees fan or a
Yeah.
Jets fan. And there's a line where you stay on the New England side. Like but still, I have cousins who live there and they're not New England fans. And they're kind of in the middle. They're in Cheshire.
Yeah.
So
I have Yankee stadium behind me. You can't take, New England out of the girl, apparently.
are you a Yankees fan? You mean
No.
Fenway? You mean Fenway?
Fenway, sorry. It is Fenway.
I can see the Sitco sign.
You know what it is, Eric? You're making me so sad that I'm like, am I like a traitor? You're doing this to me.
Listen, we all do it. I moved away. I came back. I believe that one day you will come back because we'll
That's
get to talking
probably
about some
true.
things you're going to be coming back to New Hampshire for, and maybe we
That's
just get
probably-
to do it full time soon.
Don't let
But
Eric get you down. I mean, you are a New England girl through and through, and I love your vibe already, even just like talking to you pre-show for a few minutes. So, Kayla, you are welcome here anytime you want,
Thank you,
especially on the
Erica.
podcast.
she's welcome back,
Yeah.
Welcome back.
and she
yes.
can stay.
Eric's like she can only come back when she's like got a nice little like Manchester, Keene, New Hampshire area code. Got it.
You got to bring the Boston accent a little bit, like kid,
Just
guy.
a wee
I don't
bit.
know.
Yeah,
You mentioned Keene, so you're from Keene originally, right?
I am. Yeah, my parents still live there, and I'm part of a huge family. My mom is one of 10. My dad's one of 7, and they're all pretty much still over the span of the entire state, which, as you know, New Hampshire is not a large state by any means. So I have family all over. But when I go back home to visit my family, they're right outside of Keene.
When did you wind up moving away from New Hampshire? I'll say New Hampshire, not New England.
Yeah, so I moved out of New Hampshire back in 2017. I was working for the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and I was doing all of their flyover pre-race show aspects for the NASCAR sanctioned events, and then obviously all the other races and that were not necessarily NASCAR sanctioned, or the race that Millennium Running actually puts on over there too. But we did a lot of different events over there, and I ended up just making a lot of different contacts, ended up going and working for NASCAR in a different capacity. And so worked for the FedEx team, the number 11 team, their marketing agency. So moved down here to Connecticut to be close to them and traveled the circuit then for a couple of years. So
How cool is that?
yeah. So NASCAR, not what you would expect, but
We
yeah.
talk a lot about it, actually.
You're talking to the right guy. He knows all
Do
there
you know
is
who
about
I used
that,
to work
especially
for?
New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
Tell me.
I used to work for Joe Gibbs Racing.
You did not.
I did. I changed tires on the 20 car for Drew Herring. You know Drew?
Stop it. This is the greatest thing.
Yeah, I worked.
I knew that we were going to be really good friends, but I did not realize that we were going to have so much in common.
Yeah, I changed tires on the 20 in the it was the Nationwide Series. Then I did a lot of trucks in ARCA.
Wow.
David Starr, you know David Starr?
Yes, I do.
He ran me over. He broke my wrist, my fingers, my foot. I have the hood in my dad's shed. I was 1 week away from doing my first cup race, and I was out for a while. This is back in 2008, 9, 10, 11.
Wow.
Yep.
This is really exciting.
Yeah, it was a lot
Yeah, I
of fun.
traveled the circuit, got to go to a bunch of different tracks, work with my team. I did pre-race hospitality. I did pit tours and hauler tours. I was doing Q&As with the driver. So I had a lot of fun romping around, and it was the time of my life, for sure.
It's the best. We
How
still go to
cool.
New Hampshire every year and camp the entire week.
Yeah.
It's I still have a lot of friends in the sport. A lot of them are kind of I just hit 40. A lot of them are like my buddy Shane. He was the jackman. I was a jackman too. He was the jackman
Nice.
on the one car for Ross the last couple of years. He just retired. But yeah, that was back in the day. Back in the day for me.
Wow. This is so exciting. My husband's going to love this. He's going to love hearing all about this because we
Pretty
never watched a
cool.
lap of NASCAR until I started working for them. So,
And it's a wicked cool sport, right? Like when you get to
Yeah.
know it. Yeah.
actually, you know what? Because it's not, and Erica's laughing because she's like every other person who's like,
She
it's
likes
literally
F1
cars
because
going
of
around in a
Netflix.
circle. What is this?
Yeah.
But when you start to realize all of the science that's behind it and who all the different, people are that contribute to a team's success, it gets really interesting. I promise.
You have me at science. I like that part of the sport. But yeah, and I'm not laughing at Eric. I've just heard that story a bunch of times and it gets better every time I hear it. Oh, Eric, we love you.
One last NASCAR question, just I want your
Yeah.
take. Is Denny going to win a championship?
Ooh.
So Denny is the driver, Erica, of the 11
Mhm.
car that she
Mhm.
worked on, and he's come so close, including this last year. He was 3 laps away, and
Oh,
I don't think so. I think sometimes he can be his own worst enemy.
yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
I
He's
was just
also
going to
back in
say
the sport.
that. I was going to say that. We are all our own worst enemy for sure.
Let's go, Denny. I like your name. Let's go.
Yeah.
You got this, buddy.
But anyways, that's really so. How did you get into that world at NHMS then? Because like I actually applied for a job there when I came back, and I didn't get one. So how did you get started in that?
Eric, it's all about who you know.
I know. And I knew
I was
people.
working for the Manchester Monarchs back when they were the LA
Cool.
Kings affiliate. Yeah. So worked in sports hospitality for quite some time. I was there and my boss was leaving. He and his wife were going to head back to their home state. And his wife happened to be the events director at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. So she was looking for a replacement for, someone in the department, and she was part of that hiring process. And so I had applied at the recommendation of my current boss, who happened to be her husband. So that's kind of how that all happened.
Was that in
I love all
the
the
Jerry
connections.
Gappins days or the David McGrath days?
You know what? I was there for the changeover.
Oh.
So I was there for both and during that exciting time.
Oh yeah, exciting.
I just wish I could chime in more. But you guys are so happy and it's making me happy.
Oh, we'll fill you in later, Erica. But this is a running
Erica, we'll talk,
podcast.
we'll
Let's
talk
move
offline.
on.
The most corporate line ever. We'll take it offline.
You went to UNH, right? You're
I
you're
did.
a Wildcat?
Oh yeah, go Wildcats. It's a great day to be a Wildcat. I went there for hospitality and recreation management. I had a blast, had way more fun doing what a college kid should be doing and not so much actual work. Hence why I majored in actual party planning and event planning.
Very nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But primarily in the sports space because I was super into it and I loved hockey. My family grew up being big hockey fans. My family's from Montreal, so we are big Habs fans.
Oh my
It's probably the
God,
only
podcast
big
over.
divide that we're going to have. I know. Eric, come back. But
Can't scare me away like that. No worries.
but it's really one of those things where we always had sports in the house, and so it was always something that I was interested in, even though I wasn't good at any sports by any means. So and yeah, it was an easier major at the time, which is what I cared about.
That's really cool. I have to say I have partied at UNH, but Eric and I are Panthers from BSU. So
Oh wow!
does that make us rivals, or I don't know? I don't think we're rivals. We're not in
I
the
don't
same
really
division.
know. I don't think either college really had a big rival by any means.
Not in sports, but
really.
I'll tell you what. In 1993, Playboy rated us the number one party school in the country.
Because that
Wow.
matters.
Yeah.
That really does matter. When I was 2, you were partying, and that's super exciting.
Well, we were not partying in 93.
I mean,
How old was I in '93? I was 7. I was
Yeah.
birthday partying at.
I might have had the year off
93.
there too, but all right. Now we got that down. No, it was a fun time. So we're all New Hampshire people. This is super cool. You weren't a runner though. You said you loved hockey and eventually you loved NASCAR. You were not a runner. Like, what did you do? Were you doing dance or something, or just kind of like a jack of all trades?
Yeah, I was definitely like and I still am to this day, very much a serial hobbyist of sorts. So it's like, oh, my friends wanted to go try out for the soccer team. Let's go for the soccer team. Oh, my friends were going to do some drama and some band and all the good stuff. And I was like, yeah, let's make it happen. So I, in high school, actually was really into band. I was a alto sax player in the marching band, and I actually
Awesome.
marched in the Parade of Lights in Disney, which is one of my biggest flexes
Cool.
to this day, which Eric, as a Disney fan, I feel like can appreciate. But yeah, got to college and really was like, I want to actually have friends. So I ended up just really trying to expand and getting involved in absolutely everything, which I did. And but still in college, never ran. I feel like I only stepped foot into that gym maybe a dozen times. It just wasn't really something that I was interested in. I didn't start running until the pandemic hit. My dad has always been a big runner, so it's always been a part of our life. We'd go and watch him run half marathons pretty regularly growing up. He always wanted us to do the kids races, and we always hated them. I just remember my dad being like, let's go do these races. We'll do it together as a family. And it was like the bane of my existence. So it's like, I would rather run. Everyone always complains like, oh, in soccer, running was a punishment type of deal. And yes, that's so true. But for me, I just was like, this is miserable. Not how I want to spend my Saturday. And I'm 12 years old and dad wants me to come in like first in my age group in some small town in New Hampshire, running some road race. It just,
So he was trying to get you to do really, really good. See, I'm a dad, and the problem for me always is getting them out the door.
Yeah.
Once they're there, they have a blast. They have a fun. I'm like, no, you're going to have fun. The people make it even better. My 9-year-old did the Signet Elliott 5K, and we made sure it was fun. It's hot, run through the sprinklers. We go skiing. Hard to get her out the door. When we're skiing, she doesn't want the day to end.
Yeah.
It's the same with even dance practice. Going to dance, can't get her out the door.
Yeah.
But, you got to make sure they have fun.
Yeah. I mean, my dad was like, you could come in first. Like, there's only 4 kids total. Like, you could come in first for the kids and like essentially get the age division, trophy as well. And I was like, this still is not motivating to me.
Oh, I would be motivated by a trophy, I think. But nowadays I am. But I was just like you. I was kind of trying a little bit of everything, and you would have to drag me to the gym basically. So
Yeah.
I'm just like you, and outside of college I finally picked it up, but I get it. It was a little bit of a drag until you get used to it and becomes part of your life.
You know how, like, when we talk about running, and we probably will talk about it at some point, but I'm a firm believer. I actually just interviewed for a role and got a new position, which is so exciting. But during that interview process, I actually boasted about how I'm a marathon runner, because isn't that what we do? But then also I had all of these different correlations of how being a marathon runner was going to make me really great at this job, and the traits and the habits and the things that I've come to know as now second nature are actually huge assets for me as a person. And I was selling myself that way. But I feel like similarly, when we're in high school or college and we're trying to find ourselves and we are wearing all these different hats and we are trying so many different things, then all of a sudden I'm like, this is what made me so good at my job now, where it's, hey, I'll take on that. I'll try something new. I'll make a career change, or I'll be able to take on something that might necessarily be in the scope of work that I'm used to.
Right.
And I feel like some of that came from, hey, let's throw caution to the wind and just try anything that comes our way.
I love that.
Let me ask you a question about your interview. Why did you use the marathon comparison and not the ultra marathon comparison?
Oh, you know what? I think because I've done the marathon training so many times that I can really attest to the journey and the discipline and the things that come with that. I only trained for an ultra marathon once, which I ran a marathon during that training, which is wild enough as it is. And yes, that was an incredibly liberating and life-changing experience for me. And I could talk about it all day and try to convince someone to at least do one at some point. But I just didn't feel like it was a part of my soul in the same way. I felt like my soul left my body in a different way for those. Because ultra training is no joke. I mean, those mindsets are just completely different. And I love that about all of you. I think that that's incredible. And definitely something I would be willing to do again it's just not like, it's not something that you can just say, yeah, I'll sign up for a marathon at the end of the summer. Like, that sounds great. You have to actually like think a little bit harder and plan a little bit more when it comes to some
Right.
ultras.
Absolutely. So we know how you started running. Your father was big into it and you would follow along and you didn't love it back then. But what kind of changed your mindset on running and got you more into the habit?
I think I was an admirer of first. I don't think it was actually something where I'm like, let me get out there, let me lace up some shoes. Because when I was at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway, where I met John Mortimer and the lovely individuals over at Millennium Running,
Aren't they great?
shout out, woo woo, my faves. But I up at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, we did a race called You'll Light Up the Night, and so it's a lot of cities and places have it where you can ride your car or drive your car through the light shows around the holidays. They have them all over the place. And so Millennium Running would actually have a like 2-mile road race through the lights at night. What a fun like experience. I always thought that those individuals who were not only getting out to go and see this amazing, light show on foot, but also it was not warm when this is happening. Mind you, this is the holidays. We're talking Christmas time. And so I don't think that was the motivator for me to get out there, but I was definitely an admirer and someone who was like, a cheer zone, that's my place. That's where I could really shine. And it wasn't until 2020 that I actually laced up sneakers and decided to go run something other than a turkey trot.
But that motivator was actually, I think, your husband, you said, because you thought he was crazy for wanting to run a marathon.
Yeah, so my husband works for Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, which is a nonprofit that's here in Connecticut. It was started by Paul Newman back in the 80s.
I have a friend who attended that because she had cancer back in the day, and she always like gives back. And oh my God, I love that cause. That is an amazing camp.
Oh, I love that so much. Erica, I try to run a race for them every year so I can do a little bit of fundraising because my niece is a camper as well. So, but we have such big ties. And so for anyone else like who doesn't necessarily know, it is a summer camp here in Connecticut. It was started by Paul Newman. And it's for children with serious illnesses and their families to go to summer camp for free. And so it is an incredible cause. And so my husband works for them and was working with the marathon team. So anyone who knows, I'm going to try to run the New York City Marathon. I'm going to try to get in through a charity program. You learn a lot about all these different charities across the country. Hole in the Wall had bibs for New York City, as they do almost every year. And my husband came back after being at the start line for the New York City Marathon with his marathon team. And he came home and was like, I have to do that. And this was like in 2019. He's like, I have to do that. And I was like, you have to go seek help because this seems like so far.
I go, you haven't run a marathon though. That's just so inspiring. Even at the start line before people are even in it.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And anyone who's run the New York City Marathon knows like you have all these people who show up and then there's an anthem and then a massive, cannon shot. And then next thing you know, it's, New York is playing as loud as it possibly can. And you're seeing everybody just like these massive crowds and waves going off. Everyone's so excited to get started. And so I thought he was absolutely crazy. But sure enough, January 1st, that man got on the treadmill and he started to he ran 3 miles and he got off and he was like, that was terrible. That is, which I'd love to also point out, like we owned a treadmill, but didn't use it. We were those people, That's
okay.
Yeah. But he started to train for this race. He had the bib through camp. And I basically was like, well, what am I supposed to do while you're out here training for this marathon? And my mom said, why don't we train for a half together? We'll find something. We'll do it. It'll be a lot of fun. And so my mom suggested like, oh, let's do like Nantucket or like Martha's Vineyard. I'm like, no, this is something I can get into. Like this seems
okay.
The destination. It just happened where we were just running and then the pandemic hit and my race that was in the spring got pushed. And then the New York City Marathon got canceled. Jared was put into the runner resolution program. So he actually had draw poll for 2022. And so now we're like, well, what are we going to do with all of this?
Right.
You know, this training, we're just like, I guess we're just going to keep going. Cause like if we stop, I had a fear of stopping. Like, what does that actually mean? So my husband ran the Clarence DeMar Marathon, which is in Keene.
It's a great one.
Love it.
Yes, it's a great race.
It's
for anyone who
penciled
has-
in for me right now, by the way.
Oh, let's
Pencil.
do it.
Pencil.
Break out the pen, man.
I know. Like, let's go. Let's get the pen.
Gammaphobia, this guy.
But yeah, so that just kind of happened. It snowballed. You know, like 2021 was a weird year too, because there was this resurgence of COVID. And because of that, races were pushed. I mean, the Boston Marathon was moved to the fall that year.
That Columbus
So
Day.
yeah, so it was moved to the fall, and camp, which when I tell you this story, you're going to be like, "This, I can't even believe this happened." Camp couldn't even give their bibs away for Boston 2022 because
wow.
there were people who had just run in the fall and were not thinking, all right, I'm going to get in for the spring, or my body's not going to be ready just with the nature of that race. People were still so iffy about crowds at the time. It was just a very weird time. And so we were asked if we would be interested in raising some money and getting these bibs to go run the Boston Marathon. And so that was my first marathon. I was like, I can't say no. I can't turn down a bib to the Boston Marathon. I'd be absolutely insane. And so that's how it started. I just didn't stop running when COVID hit. And then I decided, all right, I guess I'm going to run the Boston Marathon.
Well, that's good. It gave you enough time to keep building your base and just, you got to, so 2022. Yeah. That's plenty of time. Beautiful.
Yeah.
So a question I like to ask a lot of people, and we're a storytelling podcast. We love to hear your best stories, good, bad, ugly, the unfortunate, right? I love to hear that first marathon story. Spare no details on that day.
Sure. So because I got the joy of running with my husband, who's now running his second marathon at this time, we said, let's do it together. Doesn't that sound romantic?
Oh, yeah.
So
that could test a
romantic.
marriage.
So
I hope it went better than that.
My first marathon, I'm like, this is going to be great. Let's go for it. It's going to be fun. We start, and within the first 5 miles, I'm like, oh, I grossly underestimated what this is going to be like. And I'm 5 miles into this race. So Jared's like, no worries. Like, we're going to do it together. It's going to be awesome. Well, let's fast forward to like mile 16. I am miserable. I can't even think about what a finish line would look like or feel like, because I don't even feel like I can run. I'm like doing this waddle walk. I look like I could be beating a grandma down in like Fort Lauderdale, like speed walking with the best of them. I have the weirdest gait going on, and I'm just going, well, mind you, my fastest pace is my husband's easy pace. So now I'm suffering even more. So my pace is totally out the window. My husband, Jared, he is running like, oh my God, he's having the time of his life, high-fiving every little kid, hands in the air, reading every sign. And then he's like, oh, where's Kayla? And he turns around and then realizes that I'm a good 10 feet behind him. And this is his reaction. And just slows down to an absolute crawl in order for me to catch up to him. I was like, leave me, save yourself. I don't want you around me. And so we said for the longest time, I don't think I could ever run a marathon with Jared again. It is a recipe for disaster. Divorce will be in my future. I love this man so much, and I just don't think I could do it. We had photos. Our family was at the top of Heartbreak Hill because that's where you need it the most and when you look the best. I don't know if you know this. The photos, Jared's hugging his mom. He's like, looks great. I look like an absolute ogre in the background. I didn't even know I had a hunchback until I saw some of these photos. And it is just like, it was absolutely terrible. We're crossing the finish line. The finish line photo is me just like, praise the Lord. This is the greatest day. And my husband's looking at me like, we had so much fun.
You and I have two totally different ideas of fun.
So he goes, but he did say, and so as you know, I think a lot of us go through that where we're like, you either have a great training cycle or you don't have a great training cycle, or you just don't know what you don't know going into your first marathon. And so a lot of the stories are very similar to that, where you go out too fast. You don't know, what mile 22 is even going to feel like, because you didn't even get close to that during your training, when you're training for your first marathon. So it was always so interesting because we crossed the finish line and Jared goes, "You're never going to do this again, are you?" And I said, "I'm going to come back next year and I'm going to have redemption." And so I found a bib for 2023. I used some connections to try to make it happen. And I said, "I'm going to go back. It's going to be great." I ran and I cut an hour and 7 minutes off of my time.
Holy shit, Kayla.
There you go.
I feel like is a testament to you being like, wow, you got really in shape. But really, I just was so terrible the first time. But yeah.
Right here. Is this the one?
That's literally, look at me. I actually look like I am a very religious person in that moment. And my husband is looking at me like we had a blast.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you got your redemption moment, though. That's amazing. Did it make you love the marathon a little bit more the second time around?
For sure. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I think it is true. You don't know what you don't know. And also in between that, I did run my ultra. So I was like, 26.
Doesn't it give you a new perspective on things? Like if you're running more than that, and then you only have to do a marathon. Like it's such a nice feeling.
But yeah, I mean, I think that if you have the opportunity as a runner to run the same race the following year, for whatever reason, whether it's a race you just love to do, whether it just happens to lie on a great weekend or you want the redemption, it's really special regardless of the outcome of your race. I believe that it's really special to look at your life a year from now and be like, wow, a year ago today, I was at the start line and maybe I hated my job, or maybe I was in a bad relationship, or maybe I was, maybe I was drinking way too much, or maybe, and then you look at yourself, you fast forward, and even your training cycle is totally different, whether this is your second marathon or your fifth marathon. And so I always tell people, like, I think it's really special when people are granted the opportunity to run the exact same race a year later because of how different we become. You're not the same person that you are when you get to the start line as you were when you decide to even sign up for a race, let alone a full year in advance. So I just think it's really special. And I think it's a cool thing.
Yeah, you grow so much during these cycles, and you never know how you're going to change, what you're going to learn. It is a learning experience every single time. You could do 100 of these and still learn new things.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just all about the growth. And I'm so happy that you got to do that and see a difference. And it was a very happy difference for you.
Yes, it really, really was.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a great story. Thanks so much for sharing. I love those, and I just knew it was going to deliver. Those first-time marathon stories always seem to deliver. And you dove right in because now you're halfway through a 6-star journey. In a couple weeks, you're getting your 4th star. You started a running club in your community of Connecticut, not New England.
Yeah.
Like you dove right in. What was the reason for that dive?
She literally took the running thing and ran with it. I love it.
I was like, I'm not even good at this. And this is just, we might as well just keep going.
That's the thing. You don't have to be good at it. Just as long as you keep trying. And if you're enjoying yourself, that's all that really matters.
Absolutely. Yeah. You know what? It just got to the point where I felt like, okay, this is something, similar to what we were saying, something I can do for me, something I can do to constantly be challenging myself and getting myself to the next stage in, my life. I went through a lot when I was running. I got the opportunity to run an ultra marathon. I actually went sober during that time as well. I just feel like there was so many different monumentous things that happened for me, and running was always there for me, whether I was, having a really bad day or whether I was having a great day. It didn't matter whether I was laughing or crying or it was raining or it was sunny or it was snowing or it was just a cold day. I had that. And that was really a cool growth opportunity for me in so many different ways. And so then I'm like, well, if it's affected me like this, it's got to affect other people. And we had moved to Connecticut, so outside of New England, as some would say. And I was
You're catching on.
yeah. I just, because I stopped drinking and a lot of the people I was surrounded around, that was the activity of choice. Let's go to a concert. Let's go to the bar. Let's go to a show. Let's go do something. With running, I felt a lot of support in so many ways. And so I thought there has to be other people. And this is kind of before this like big boom of run clubs. And my husband and I, we worked with a local brewery and coffee shop, and we decided we were going to advertise for this awesome new run, community. And like the very first H2gO event, 3 people showed up. And I was like,
that's awesome.
3 people.
I was like, 3 more people than I.
That's 2 more than our first turkey trot, Eric. I remember.
See, but I think a lot of people who want to start a group, or they see these massive groups of people out there, and then they have 5 people show up to their first one, and they're like, oh, this isn't going to really be what I want it to be. But for me, I just wanted people. I wanted like-minded individuals who were like, yeah, let's go for a run, and then let's grab a coffee afterwards and just like talk about our lives. And so got into that space. I started coaching because I was so passionate. And Erica, you probably tell, like I was just so passionate about the journey piece of it.
Absolutely.
And I thought that in itself was way better than any race day, which I have a friend, Tracy, and she totally disagrees. She's like, race day and a medal are what I'm doing it for. I literally hate every other day of this training cycle. And I get that too. But I feel like, I started to make friends. Some of my best friends are in this run club. I never met them until they joined. And now like people from that run club, we all ran that Philly Marathon together as the founding fathers. Like those are all run club members who I didn't even know before we started this group. And so it's really cool when you start to see how it spider webs, where you have the community, and it's a community that, you could say that I built, but the only reason there even is a community is because we made it a safe space and other people showed up. The community is because other people are there. I just created the opportunity. And I think that like anyone could do that with anything that they like, whether it's crocheting or it's running or it's baking, it doesn't matter. But running really found me in a time that I needed it the most. And now I get to say, like, I get to coach people and I get to run alongside them, and I get to, I get to do run with Achilles, and I get to MC at various different events for Hartford Marathon and Millennium Running, and so it's just really great, and it can't get rid of me now. This is what's happening.
They don't want to. They want to keep you around.
Yeah.
It's called H2gO Life. And how do you come up with the name of H2gO?
So initially I just wanted to get involved because I care about the community anyway, but I wanted to get involved with all these different races. And sometimes you go to some of these races and a water station is like poorly manned, right? And you're just like, I'm either grabbing my own cup or they poured them all ahead of time. They didn't have volunteers there. And I was like, I want it to be, like this cheer zone meets water station. And so I'm going to call my run club Hydration Station. And my husband was like, that's dumb.
He could have been like, hey, let's workshop this. But
yeah, no. He was like, how about we try something else? So it was a bunch of back and forth. And so he's like, how about H2gO? Like, it could talk about like, we could still have your hydration thought process here, but where it's about movement at the end of the day.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, I can get behind that. So I would give him full credit for the name creation of it all. But that's kind of how it came to be. Was I was thinking about giving back to the community. I didn't even realize as it was, because it kind of built itself, that it was just going to become a community.
So what kind of events do you guys usually hold? Is it on like a weekly basis? Is it like just one day a week you do a weekend run? Or tell us a little bit more about what you guys do.
Yeah, so we have various different meetups throughout the week, and I think it's kind of cool because there are other run clubs in the area that will meet at, this coffee shop on Saturday and then
Mhm.
this brewery on, whatever day, and they change up their meetups every week. And I kind of
Gotcha.
love that for, the opportunity to try new places and to meet
Right.
different people. We kind of took a different approach where we started to partner with the various businesses. So we partner with the same coffee shop every Saturday morning. And
Awesome.
so what's great about that is we're able to bring them business every Saturday. They know that they can rely on us for that. But then our people start to become now brand loyal to that coffee shop
There you
or to
go.
that brewery. And so it's really exciting. And look at how
Oh,
great
check
our
it
little group
out.
is. We ended up essentially every day of the week, we have a different meetup location. We meet at that same location. We form contracts with the different businesses, but that Mondays, for example, or Tuesdays here at Dockside, like those are breweries and restaurants that Mondays and Tuesdays are their slower day.
Right.
So we bring in this group of people who, are going to go for a 3 mile or 5 mile run or walk. And then when they come back, it's, hey, I'm going to grab food to go for my husband who's still at home, or I'm going to let's stay and have a beer, or let's eat dinner here. Or someone want to split a pizza. And so it's kind of great because it starts to create habits and routines for people.
Mhm.
We've even had people, go on a date at Run Club to say, hey, I'm going to go to this Run Club and then just grab dinner afterwards.
Aw.
And
Nice.
it's
I
this
like
nice
that.
icebreaker and opportunity. But we really love partnering with the businesses. And that's really important to us because it's our community helping community. And so that was the antithesis of kind of us wanting to keep it really routined.
Now, I'm
I
not
love that.
familiar with that area of Connecticut, but the towns weren't all the same. So is that all a
No.
general area though?
Yeah, so it's definitely in a regional area, but our two furthest locations are probably 30 to 40 minutes from each other. So
Okay.
what works out is because we offer different locations on different days and sometimes at different times, it allows for there to be more opportunity, and it allows for more inclusivity as well.
Mhm.
Because as you know, jobs now, they could be someone could work on a Saturday morning. And so all of these run clubs that are meeting Saturday morning, fantastic. A majority of people can meet there, but we have people who meet us on a Friday morning or a Tuesday night.
Mhm.
And they might be from various different locations. And it's nice because it allows for people to feel like they can get involved and they can try a different location, a different restaurant, and it's just great for everyone all around. Our holiday party was one of the coolest things because it was like, oh, I'm a Tuesday girl. It's like, oh, I usually go to Fridays. And so people were introducing themselves as the days that they would
Oh,
go
I love
to.
that.
And so that's always really fun too, because a lot of people who might never have met each other were all in one place.
Mhm. I love that you guys have the different locations, the different days of the week. So
Mm,
depending on what your schedule is, somebody can find the consistency in that. And also I saw you had two different Saturday locations. So
yeah.
people can pick whatever's closest to them, or if they're feeling a little spicy that day, they
Yeah.
go to the other one.
Yeah.
I love that you give the option to just kind of branch out and pick whatever works best for them. But it does build that consistency and
Yeah.
makes it easier to make some friends who have the common bonds with you.
100%.
Mm.
And Jared and I are very passionate about if you come to our run club, I want to know your name and I want to know how did you find us? I also want to know, are you local to this location? And then Jared and I will quiz each other the whole drive home
Oh
about the
boy.
person and, oh, who did you talk to today? And sometimes we make the, assimilations of people.
Mhm.
We have a friend Tracy and she's a big Disney runner. And when we first met her, that's all she talked about was run Disney events. So we were like, no, it's Disney Tracy. So we were really trying to associate people
Uh-huh.
with different names. We got 8 different Johns. It's how do we say it's, bald John versus tall John versus Dr. John versus, so it's kind of fun for us to quiz each other, but it allows for when that person to come back, I can say, hey, Tracy, hey, John, we've missed you, or how was your week, knowing this is your job or whatever it is. And that's really important because if you show up to a run club and it's got 50 people there and you run by yourself and no one really got the chance to know you, like, why would you want to come back? Why would
It can
that
be
want to be?
a little intimidating when you have such
Yeah.
big numbers and you're new and you don't know anybody. It's
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard even as adults to make friends. Like I
It
even
totally
like
is.
I get shy. I sometimes need to be like, "Hey, somebody come with me to this." So I'm like not alone
Yeah.
and yeah,
Oh,
but it is I
I
love that
totally
you're
agree.
branching out. Mm,
It's really hard. I commend a
yeah.
lot of people who come by themselves. Like, that's not easy.
It is. No, it's not easy.
I don't do
Eric's
it.
like, "Yep."
I don't do it. I'd like, Erica, please come with me. Please come with me.
See? It's
I'm going to
there's
go to one of
comfort
the
in the known.
Yeah.
And it's hard to branch out, but yeah.
I'm going to go to one of the Millennium runs because Erica's just joined the club. Tara
did.
Pterodactyl's in the club. And
Woo!
you guys told me that I can go even though I'm not in the club. And I'm just not because every night I'm doing something, dance or whatever.
Is the
Monday
happy
nights are
hour
for this.
hustlers that they do?
Ooh, those are
happy
the
hour-
summer.
That's in the
I'm looking
summer.
forward to those.
And that will be a lot of fun because those are Thursday nights. I think I can make that work. But actually, since we're talking about Millennium, you knew John in Millennium before you were running when you were living in New England. But then when you moved out, you found running. How did you keep in touch with him? Like, was it just one day you're like, hey, I know this guy from Millennium. I'm starting a run club or I'm a runner now. Or did you stay in touch work wise? Like, you still work for Millennium kind of on the side.
Yeah, so these are all very much happenstance. So I obviously worked with with John when he was coming to New Hampshire Motor Speedway, and we helped to coordinate that race for him. So he would bring all of his expertise, but in terms of the property and some of the added engagement pieces that would come with that race, being on our property, I assisted him with that. So over time, just became friendly with him, had done some races. I'm also from New Hampshire. So like your girl's done her fair Santa shuffles, right? So, so I just had always had John's number in my phone. And so after I had gone sober, it was one of those instances about a year or so ago where I had reached back out to John because I went to Boston for one of my best friend's bachelorette parties. I was still running at the time. This was back in 2023. So I had just finished my second Boston and we were walking back from a Pilates class and I see bike fence everywhere and I just lock in. I'm like, there's a road race here. Like, I don't know. I got to find it. And so I looked it up and sure enough, it was Millennium Running's Boston's Run to Remember was happening.
Awesome.
And so I signed up for the 5 mile, the day before the race. Cause I was like, all these girls. So I'll back up for just a second. I decided to stop drinking the Thursday before my best friend's bachelorette party. And I had stopped and started a couple different times. But I just had this feeling of like, you know what, if I could do this weekend, like I can do anything.
Right.
Because you all know, like there's always going to be a reason not to. There's always going to be something. And so as we were walking back from this Pilates class, I was like, I like to run. I feel like everyone's going to be super hungover tomorrow. And I'm just going to kind of feel like I'm in a little bit of a limbo, like it's, uncharted territory. So I signed up for this race. I asked the bride, I was like, are you cool with this? And she said it was fine. And so I ran the race and it was this very euphoric thing for me. And also biggest humble brag. I don't know if you guys see these medals, but these things are honking. Like they are massive, the size of my head.
They're world major worthy, unlike that Chicago medal.
Oh, shut it.
Yeah. Fair. But they're massive. And so your girl comes in with a massive medal on and Starbucks coffee for everyone. And I just felt like royalty. I felt so amazing walking back in while everyone's still in bed. And so last year I went back and I was going to run the race and I had reached out to John prior to just to text and be like, hey, how's it going? How are things? And we just caught up a little bit. And I said, I'm coming back to run the race this year. I'm going to run the half with a girlfriend. And it's my 2-year soberversary. And I'm so excited about this. So I told him about my journey.
This coming year.
this will be my third. This is yeah. So I actually have the tab open for the Run to Remember right now. Not even kidding. I'm
know
ready
what?
to. I'm ready to sign up.
I'm going to open it too
Yeah.
because I know we're already going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
I might as well just do it now. Well, I'll do it when
you
we're
might as well
done.
do it now. I have but anyway, so John and I have just stayed in touch since then, and we were able to connect on a couple different things. And I was telling you about my emceeing that I do down here for Hartford Marathon events. And that's how we've made the connection. And I'll be at the Cheap Marathon this year. So really excited. That's going to be an absolute blast. But
You'll
I'm
get
going
to
to
call
do
Erica crossing the finish line. Hopefully at a PR.
Are you doing finish line stuff, or are you doing,
I'm doing
start
line? I'm doing start line stuff, which is just as exciting. Yeah, absolutely. But no, I'm going to do Boston's Run to Remember with my Achilles athlete, who I just ran the Disney half with.
Awesome.
So she's a blind runner in Boston. Yeah,
very, very cool. Now, I don't know if I'm going to jump the gun a little bit with this, but you did mention it before. So I want to get into your run club friends who did the Philly Marathon you guys did?
Yeah. Yeah. So last year I came back from, I love to do the Disney marathon weekend with Achilles. So I've run
do you like dress up and get all into character with those races, or?
I am all about a costume. So I will dress up any day. But when you're running with Achilles, you have to wear the Achilles guide shirts. So the bright yellow shirts. But I love to still dress it up with some ears or something like that.
Yeah.
But I've run with like one of my best friends runs with me to do. We've guided someone with who was autistic. We've blind runners. We have an athlete who's here in Connecticut who has Lyme disease. So we have various runners that we'll do down there. But I had so much FOMO for these runners that had done the Dopey Challenge, and I was like, I need to do that. As you know, like you have an ultra marathon. You're like
talking to the right person here. I'm all about that.
So that's what I thought though. I was like, I have to do that. And what's the next best thing? It's the Freedom Challenge at the Philly Marathon. So that's the half marathon in the morning, the 8K later in the morning, and then the marathon the next day.
I did that too.
It's so great.
So worth it. I'm all about like the extra bling. Like, sure, I'll run for a medal, but throw in like a challenge. Rarely will I say no.
Not only that, like if you travel to a race, I feel like I would want to do that. Like I don't want to travel for one. I want to travel for a whole weekend of running.
Yes, a whole weekend. Yeah, and let's be real, like the braggability is so high when you do something like that.
Right?
Like anyone can run a marathon.
You can use it in a job interview.
Yeah, you really can. But yeah, so I had this idea. I saw a bachelorette party in the summer that had dressed up as the founding fathers, and I just love a costume. And so I said to my friends who were running Marine Corps, and I was like, should we do it for Marine Corps? Like, wouldn't that be fun? I just want to be George Washington. Obsessed. And she was like, why don't we do it in Philly? Philly seems like the birthplace of, the founding fathers. Let's go to Philly. And so we kind of put it out there, and like, we didn't necessarily shout from the rooftops for our run club, but people started to hear about it and they were like, I want in on that. I want to do that. That sounds like fun. So we had, by the end of it, we had, George, and we had, we had Ben Franklin, and
don't ask me to name them because I don't know.
Well, I'm just trying to
Adams,
think because
right?
like we
Didn't you have
had a
Sam
couple
Adams?
different people, but on the tip of my tongue is we had one of our guy friends who was like, Betsy Ross, let's go.
He was Betsy Ross. I'm obsessed.
Yeah. So these are my friends. We dressed up. We ran 26.2 miles. That's Sam Adams. She ran with like all Stein the whole time. We had so much fun. I would say like I've never felt more like a celebrity than
Abe?
Oh yeah, we had a friend who ran as Abe. She is a very tiny, petite person. So we thought, who's the tallest person that we can get her to be? And fun fact, but like Abe Lincoln isn't a founding father, but that was neither here nor there in this moment. But look at these.
They're immaculate.
Our friend our friend who dressed up as Betsy Ross, literally people are shouting from the sidelines, just like, it's Betsy. Like, people just look at it.
It looked like so much fun.
Oh my God.
So you
Love
reached
this
out
so
to
much.
us a while ago before this
did.
race. And you're like, hey, let's talk, let's connect, let's try to do this in person, all these cool things. And I was like, no, you live too far away. You're not in New England. But then this pops up. This pops up one day on my feed, and I'm watching it, and everybody's sharing it. And they're sending it to us and all this stuff. And then an hour later, you send it to me, and I don't really catch it right away. You're like, this is us. I'm like, this is you? This is incredible.
The comment, for freedom.
Oh, I
Get
yelled
that
that
like.
the whole time. I was like, for the revolution. And people are like, for the revolution.
Who's the girl running with the? Well, that's
Incredible.
Sam Adams, but she ran with a beer the whole time.
She ran with a stein, and we had friends who spectated the course and brought her Sam Adams beers throughout the race, so
Would
she
she
could
drink
actually
it?
put it in her stein. We go all out here.
Was she drinking the beer though?
Oh yeah.
How drunk was she?
She's fine. Tracy, she was totally fine. This is the 8K. We ran the half as well. So yeah, it was just so great.
It looked like an incredible time. I just ran New York the weekend before, and I was on a high, and then it was just like, that was one weekend after, and it's like, look at everyone now doing Philly, and they dressed up. This looks so amazing. I love that you did that. Like, that's so cool.
Mm-hmm.
You see this more and more often now, but you see people just doing silly things like running as a caterpillar or running as Santa with the
Right.
reindeer. It's cool. It's creative. That was unique.
Yeah.
I encourage this 1,000,000%. This is what I live for. I
Yes.
love having fun doing what you love. And
Yeah.
if it brings a smile to somebody else, it's even
Yeah.
better. So much more worth
We
it.
two of my girlfriends who also ran as founding fathers, they we on a whim, we were like, should we sign up for grandmas tonight? It's the 50th anniversary.
Are you running it?
So we got in. We were in the queue. And so everyone was like, I can't believe we're going to go run. It's going to be great. My immediate reaction was, so I'm thinking about curlers for our hair. Like, I'm thinking if we just like grandma, should my wig be pink? Should be like, I want like a big poofed butt. Do you know what I mean?
Have you ever
With
watched
like
Bluey?
a moo. Yeah.
The
Yeah.
grannies.
The grannies. That's what I'm talking
grannies.
about. So the grannies running grandmas is what I'm thinking. And my two girlfriends, I have one who I think is like, that would be really fun. Let's go and do it. And I have another one who's like, I just want to look cute for one marathon. Like, I just want to have matching outfits. But I just, it's going to be really hard for me to not be dressed as a grandma for grandma's race.
Did you happen to sign up for one of the challenges for grandmas? Because
I did not. So that race sold out in like 40 minutes. And by the time I got in, I was lucky to even be in the marathon.
Yes. Because, I wound up, I was in a queue for a long time too, but I signed up for the Great Grandma's Challenge. So it's just the 5K on the day before and then the marathon too. So I'm like, ooh, I could probably get away with running a 5K in that kind of costume, but I don't know if I could do a marathon. Like
Erica, find me a 5K, bib. I'll do it with you. Let's
see
go.
what I can do. I do know some people, but I know that they do the races. I don't know if they have connections, but let me work on it for you. But that's
Erica,
amazing.
you love pickles, right?
I do love pickles.
You love pickles.
What do we got here? Oh my God! I have that, Kayla. Where are we running next? I'll bring mine. I'm gonna match.
So this is great because this was for the half marathon. I don't know if you can see in my hand that's in the air.
Yeah.
Is that
you're holding a jar of pickles?
I carried a massive jar of pickles
for a half marathon.
And I was handing them out. Let me tell you, mile 8, people were taking them. They were really excited about it. But Dietz and Watts was the sponsor, and they put out there that it was the year of the pickle. Like most people are thinking, oh, year of the fire horse, year of the snake. This was the year of the pickle. And I said, well, this sounds like an opportunity. So I go, anyone can just wear a pickle costume. How about we carry a massive jar of pickles and we'll just hand them out along the way.
You are my kind of people. I'm so happy right now.
Now, one thing is you failed to mention, but you are very fast, right? Like you BQ'd, correct?
I did not.
Oh.
No.
I was like,
Okay. Well, I was going to say you're very fast and you have a lot of fun, but you probably are still both.
I would say that I am decently fast, but I have not BQ'd yet.
Keyword
that's a
yet.
spirit.
Yeah. You know what? It's not a near-sighted vision for me right now and goal, but I could definitely do it. I just would need to make some adjustments and probably not sign up for 3 marathons in 6 weeks. I just enjoy having a lot of fun.
Told you.
Yeah, that's the best way. It's the fun. Let me tell you a quick thing is a couple years ago, I ran the Manchester Marathon.
Yeah.
And I trained what I thought I was training hard. I was like focused on it. I had a coach and everything. I missed running with people because I always had to do a workout or my long run. It wasn't the same as Erica's or it wasn't the same as Tara's or somebody else. I was always running by myself, which I do quite often anyways. I'm running by myself because I do long run on Wednesday. That's when I can get mine in. But I missed just running with people. And this year training, I ran with my sister, who I ran her first marathon in New York, but we did a training run together. Some people would join me for training runs. And then we ran New York City at like the most fun party pace. And it was just a blast. It was the most fun I've ever had running a marathon. It was my slower than my Ironman marathon.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
It's honestly, it's just one of those things where, we're not getting paid to do this.
Yeah.
And so I think goals are really important. And I love training for speed and seeing what my body can do.
Mm-hmm.
Part of that has to be you being okay with your race might not go well.
Right.
And it just might really suck. You know, my Chicago race was that. I had a terrible race. Mentally, physically, it was awful. People see the 14-minute PR and that's fantastic. And we can talk, but that's not the race I trained for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I can be disappointed about that all day. But then I turned around 2 weeks later and ran one of the most fun races of my life. And I think sometimes it's important to just remember that, you put a lot of time and effort into training for these races. That is what you really have to harness and think about.
Mm-hmm.
And do it for the things that you love, because if you're only doing it for the BQ, you could easily get disappointed. And then that's when people feel defeated, or they have a really bad race, or they get sick during the race, or they don't fuel properly. Something goes wrong. It rained that day, whatever it might be. And so I think sometimes people are like, I did a marathon, I'm never doing it again. It was the worst experience, where it's like, but you got to change the mindset.
Mm-hmm. I love your outlook on things. It's just, you try to just know that things can be outside of your control, especially when it comes to like weather. And you can put all of your heart and soul into a training cycle. And yes, it's disappointment, but there's so much more to that than, I don't know. It is okay to be disappointed and to, I don't know. It's almost like a little bit of grief, but it goes on and nobody's making you do another one. But if you want to, that's awesome. And just
feel your feels. Yeah. I mean, we all have bad races. Like, feel your feels, but also be grateful too.
Yes, 100%.
I love that you have fun. I think fun's where it's at. But it is fun to challenge yourself.
Eric's like, what costume can I get Kayla to come up to the Manchester Marathon and run with me?
I already know. I'm going to have you be Blades, the Bruins mascot.
Listen, if I lost a bet, I could do it, but I really think my dad would disown me. I think it would be really bad.
Scrolling through all your pictures, stalking your Instagram and the H2gO Life one and everything, I went deep where I saw the Denny Hamlin stuff, and I saw that your husband's a Bruins fan. So I love him. I think Jared is amazing. But Jared, if you remember back from like 2008 to 2012, we had this bear. It wasn't Blades. It was a real bear. And we made commercials. I say we because we're the Bruins.
Oh, yeah.
We made these amazing commercials. And one of them was
with a Habs fan.
And what was the rule? They were called Boston Bruins rules. Like, don't ruin the jersey.
Don't date within the league.
Don't date within the division.
Oh, division.
Yep. Jared, you broke a rule. You broke a key Bruins rule. You know,
It's all right.
you know what
I
though?
think he
I
won.
love that you're a hockey fan, and growing up now, being older, and seeing many years of losing to Montreal and many years of beating Montreal. Like I try to plan work trips around hockey games, and I'm like, okay,
Ooh.
when can I go to Montreal for work? Because we have an office in Laval around a hockey game. We go to Minnesota every year, go around a Minnesota Wild game. So, fun fact, I was at the very last Hartford Whalers game in Montreal. You were like probably 2.
Wow.
I was at the Montreal, not the Forum, it was
No,
the brand new Molson
Bell
Center.
Center. Oh,
Yeah,
Molson Center. Mm-hmm.
yeah, and I was there at that game. That was a lot of fun. I was 11, so that would have been 96? Yeah, 96 maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, I've been, big hockey guy, big NASCAR guy. You and I would get along great except for this Montreal-Boston thing, so
It's all right.
Yeah.
It's okay.
you get along
It's
good with
funny.
Boston fans already. It's a fact.
It's so funny you say that. I could be like just the only one here, but I've been watching Heated Rivalry, and there's a Montreal and Boston team, and they're like I'm
They love
freaking
each other
obsessed.
very much.
Yes, they do. Okay, anyways.
All right, well, Kayla, you're not off the hook yet, and we're going to get to Tokyo in a second, but we have 2 final questions we always ask our guests. You get the same questions as everyone this year. I'm going to go first. So I want to know what everyone's hot take is for 2026. This can be running, or it doesn't have to be running at all. It could be that, Bruins fans are awesome. It could be whatever you want.
She laughs. Ha!
So give me a hot take for 2026.
I'm going to go running because I will stick to the theme.
Love it.
But my hot take is real runners walk.
Ooh.
Yes.
And the reason I say that is because I think that we all get really defeated. You walk through a water station, or you walk up a hill, or you get to the top of a hill and you're so gassed and you have to walk. But I think that's not something that you should be down on yourself for by any means. We actually have someone in our run club who ran like a 1:35 half marathon this year.
Wow.
And he walked every hill at the Fairfield half marathon. And so and there's some pretty beastie hills here. So when he got to the top of the hill and everybody was gassed, he just was able to go. And so he was able to make up the time. So when he was in the area that he was in during the race, he actually did fantastic, and he walked all of the hills. I think sometimes it's really important to remember because people think walking is weak. And so I believe that real runners walk. And if you're in the middle of a training run, you get to the top of the hill and you're so gassed, you're going to get more out of your workout if you walk for 30 seconds to let your heart rate come down than you are if you just power through because your ego won't let you.
Love it.
So that's my hot take.
Beautiful.
Nice hot take, setting the tone. I'm going to use it as my example for a lot of people
Isn't
going
it
forward.
great?
It's
Honestly,
great.
if you want to know more about like intervals and stuff, look into Jeff Galloway because he is the king. He obviously has his own method, the Galloway method, and it's called Jeffing.
Yeah.
And he can run like what is it? Like a 2-something marathon.
Yeah.
So eat that.
That's how they train people to run the Disney marathon. People train all year, and there are all of the pacing groups. They'll do 30 seconds of walking in between X amount of time running.
I love it.
And that's every pacing group during the marathon.
It really does conserve energy. And even if it just gives your muscles a break to reset and just get rid of a little bit of fatigue, it's so worth it. And yeah, beautiful. So you've had a little time to think about your answer for this. But my question for the year, and actually all the years because I refuse to change it, I have a Spotify playlist. We have a Spotify playlist, and I like to invite our guests to add a song to it. So is there something that you just love to groove to that you would love to add to our list?
So knowing that the song was that this question was coming, I figured the only song I would have to give you is the one that has won my top Spotify song for 2 years in a row, which is just wild.
Okay.
Can I guess actually first?
Ooh, I don't think you're going to guess it. Go ahead.
Is it this song?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God.
It's a very Eric thing to do.
Let's go!
It's amazing. That's so good.
You're welcome, Jared.
Oh, jeez. Great. You made a lifer friend. That's for
Yes.
sure. But the song I chose, because it's on every running playlist I have, it's like my pump up song, even if I'm not listening to music during a race, I like to listen to it beforehand. And it's The Motto by Ava Max and Tiesto.
Oh, hell yes.
It's a vibe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it just
it's a good one.
gets me going.
That one is incredible. I think it's probably on a bunch of my playlists too. I got to put it back. Like
I know I got it on mine. So
I'm telling you, it's so good.
Are you into that, like that Tiesto EDM music when you run, or do you listen to music when you run? What do you listen to?
I like pop, like something that's just a beat I'm happy with. I'm not like a big EDM person because I don't think I get it half the time. But I just feel like if it's got a good beat and it's something that I can run to, and especially if I'm trying to do a tempo run, like I've created for myself beat per minute playlists so that way I can try to stay. So most of the time you're looking at some like Katy Perry and you know.
What are you going to be listening to
I love it.
in a couple of weeks in Tokyo?
Ooh, I don't know. I have a really hard time wearing headphones during a world major race because I just want to be immersed. Like I want to hear the drums. I don't know, like if you've ever run the London Marathon, but I thought it was the best marathon I've ever run. And like
you've run New York too, right?
I run New York too. Yeah, so I'm up. Tokyo will be 5.
So
nice.
London,
so just Berlin left.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Is that on deck for you? Or are you working
I thought you were
on it?
3-star. You're 4.
No, yeah, I'm a 4-star.
About
Tokyo
to be
will be 5, and we're working on some connections to make that happen because
love it.
Yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited.
And then you got to get 7.
You don't have to.
No, you got to.
You don't have to, and I think that
No, I'm just saying you have to go out there and do it. Like, come on. I'm giving you a reason to say I gotta go to Australia.
You heard it here first, people. Eric's giving me a reason and a budget, and I'm excited to go to Sydney. No, I just, you know what? I don't doubt that completing the 9-star will be something I think about at some point, but I'm really excited to go and do a lot of other races. Like I've never run the Manchester Marathon, and I've only run the DeMar half. And so there are certain races that I'm really excited to do now that I don't have the ones I have to do. So it'll be nice to take a little break, let the 9 come to fruition, and then I can make some decisions and maybe save a little bit more money. But no, I don't listen to music typically when I run a world major just because I want to be fully immersed. I want to hear the drums. I want to hear like the cultural aspects and the crowds that come out for these things. So I will just be embracing it, which I'm really excited about.
That's awesome. Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah.
Excited to watch you do that. And then about a month after Tokyo will be the Cheap Marathon. You'll be there emceeing and we will have a table there. We'll be recording and I want you to come back and tell us there, or when we record at the Boston Run to remember how Tokyo went.
Yes. Oh my gosh, guys, our friendship is just flourishing. We already have 2 dates to get together again after this.
I'm so excited.
And then I will go. Jared better come though. I want to go to a Bruins game in Montreal.
Okay.
And I want you to come because I want to be like, hey, look, we're cool because we're hanging out with a Habs fan. We're cool.
Yeah, see, I don't get the same type of luxury when I go to the Garden. It's not like, hey, I'm cool because I'm hanging out with Bruins fans. They're like, we still hate you. Yeah.
I'll tell them you're okay. But there'll be a lot of this.
See, I just think the world needs more love, and I just want the world to have more love.
Oh,
love it.
Erica, say less. Guys, thank you so much. This was an absolute blast. I know that I kind of like weaseled my way in, but I was like, these guys are so fun. I want to be their friend.
The coolest thing about what we do now is the first like 50 episodes, we're like trying to get people, like who can we get? And we still try to get people all the time, but now people are coming to us, and it's so cool when you jumped in our DMs and said something.
Yeah.
And I think your first question was like, hey, how does someone like me get on your podcast? And I go, this is how.
Yeah. Take a chance, people. That's all you got to do. Yeah.
Swish.
What does Wayne Gretzky say?
Yeah. Well, Michael Scott.
Yeah.
Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
And Kira D'Amato, technically.
Right?
If you've read her book, you'll get it. But you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this was a lot of fun. Thank you for jumping in our DMs. I can't wait to meet you in a couple of months, and good luck in a couple of weeks in Tokyo. My sister's going to be there, by the way.
Ooh.
Oh, you two should totally connect. It's her second marathon. She got in through the lottery, and she ran New York with me a couple months ago, which was the greatest day in the world. I don't know how I'll have to go run London because I don't know how any other race in the world can beat that New York City Marathon. Even Boston.
I know.
Yeah.
It's a tough one, but I will say I've run New York twice, and the London Marathon was superior.
Well, I gotta
London
go.
is top for me. Although, so Chicago is still up there, but I think London was number two. If we're talking just majors, there's a lot. But But Kayla, you're gonna love Hannah if you get to meet her. That's Eric's sister. She's way cooler than Eric. So is he gonna whack?
This podcast is over, guys. I hope you enjoyed this. This was so much fun. Kayla Zwirko on the On the Runs podcast. That was wicked awesome.
Kayla, you are so freaking awesome. Welcome to the pod fam. You really do fit right in. You're who I would like to hang out with on the regular. And you're another reason why I want the cheap marathon to actually happen. We were discussing about whether or not all the snow would melt on the rail trail, but you're going to be there doing some announcing, and I want to meet you in person. So I really hope that this race is going to happen. So let's manifest it, everybody.
And that's your goal race because
it is.
You're going to try to run really fast, or I should say wicked fast.
Yeah.
And if you run really fast, you can come to the On the Runs tent and talk on the pod and maybe even talk to Kayla.
Yeah,
because we'll be there recording from that race. Kayla will be there announcing, and you can get to say hi. And I think you'll have more opportunities after that. Speaking of that, you mentioned the Derry Rail Trail, and you're a little worried right now. You and KJ, your coach, are talking about the snow.
Yeah, we've just had so much that I'm not sure how the rail trail is actually doing, because I don't think that that's one that they regularly plow. I don't think they maintain it during the winter. So in order for them to hold this race in early April, it's got to be gone. They can't be icy or anything. That's a liability. So
well, we'll see. I think you're going to be just fine. Was it last year or the year before they canceled it and they postponed it a week though? Remember we got a big snowstorm? Or was it just rain and cold ice storm? And the trail was fine a week later. In a month it's not going to be fine, but in 2 months you're going to be good.
So this was, I think, 2 years ago they may have postponed it. And I think it was 2 weeks. But it was actually still rainy on the day that they actually held it. And so it wasn't any better, but at least it wasn't any snow. So
I think it was 2 weeks because the Boston Marathon was in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so it used to be that they would hold Cheap on the same weekend. They would have Cheap on Saturday and then Boston would be Monday. And a lot of people say Yuki, she would normally run the marathon, but of course she's running Boston, so she can't do back-to-back marathons like that. So she would come run the half or do a little, I don't know, a warm-up run basically, just doing the half, and then she would run Boston on Monday. So they actually did change the weekends. So now Cheap is going to be April 5th, and this year Boston is April 20th. So lots of time in between. I really
hope to be
right.
skiing after April 5th, but down here in Derry, you're going to be fine.
Like I said, keep it up north.
Really cool news, by the way.
Yeah.
If you remember 200 episodes, I finished an episode and I was talking about the Derry Rail Trail was trying to build a tunnel. So if you at all live in the area and you drive 93, you see they're building this new exit called Exit 4A, and it's going to ruin the Derry Rail Trail. So the original plan was to build a tunnel, and then the Department of Transportation, Erica's don't talk politics.
Well, the Department of Transportation, whatever.
Right? One of these, whatever, they didn't want to build a tunnel. It either cost a lot of money, it was too much work. It sounded like an excuse, oh, we can have a cheaper option because they just didn't want to build a tunnel.
Right.
But this cheaper option made the rail trail go from no turns and no road crossings to 15 turns and a 6-lane road crossing.
Sounds awful.
And if you follow these groups on Facebook, like the Trail Alliance, Dairy Trail Alliance or something, they're all posting like build the tunnel. This has been going on for years. It just got approved in court where the judge says, nope, you have to stick to plan A. You can't go to plan J. You have to do this, build the tunnel. It sounds like we're getting the tunnel, and this is going to be kind of between the Londonderry Rail Trail and the Dairy Rail Trail, that section that's not complete yet. We ran it years ago in the relay marathon, the brewery relay marathon. We ran that section.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So now that hopefully will be complete soon. We're going to get a tunnel.
Good. I want that to be connected. That'll be so easy. And I'm always looking for options to, also have a flat, but I'll just be able to get distance and not get super bored. So
when that section is done, do you understand? You can run nonstop from the airport all the way to the Tuscan Kitchen in Salem.
How far is that?
It's almost a marathon. It might be a marathon. It's like, dude, just have someone meet us at the Tuscan Kitchen on our long run. We go from the airport to Salem, and then we have drinks after or something.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
What a cool group run would that be? Instead of going back and forth, cool. Airport to the end of Londonderry, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It'll be awesome. I've done it before on my bike, but, that section's been missing. So the cheap oh my God, John, the cheap marathon could one day be point to point.
Damn.
Downhill. That's downhill from the airport to the Tuscan Kitchen. We'll get the Tuscan Kitchen to sponsor the after party.
That would be
Oh my God.
That would be
absolutely
would be
great.
Awesome.
You get to go through the tunnel.
Count me in.
DJ Darren Roy can set up his booth in the tunnel so it sounds so amazing.
The vibes, unmatched. That would be amazing.
It'd be so cool. What a cool concept that would be.
Well, I'm glad they finally, how long has it been? 4 or 5 years?
It's been
years. That they've been working
years
on this?
since before we started this, because it was when we started this in Katie's living room, this was a conversation.
Wow.
So,
God, it
but
took
the
them
construction
long
of the construction's not even done yet. The ramp is there if you see it, but it's closed. They're finishing all that.
Yeah.
This was it seems like highway projects take 10 years, a decade, if not more. But it's happening. We're getting that tunnel.
Good.
There was all these studies done too about if you don't build the tunnel, a person gets hit in a crosswalk an average of this X amount of times a year. And that's going to cost you all this money and lawyer fees and everything. And in less than 5 years, you're going to spend twice the amount of money in those kind of fees than you would on an actual tunnel.
Gotcha.
So the safe way.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Nobody would go and do that section of the rail trail if they had to cross 6 lanes of the road.
No,
you and I aren't going to do a long run and wait for that. People will be flying off. It's the end ramp of a highway. People are flying trying to beat the light. So
there's not a chance.
Good on everybody who went out there and fought the good fight.
Yeah.
For the tunnel. Yeah.
Kudos.
Nice job, guys. You know what they get? They get one of these.
As they should. Well deserved.
But Kayla, thank you so much. That was an amazing time talking to you. I can't wait to meet you in person as well. We just have to work on this Bruins thing and make sure you're a Bruins fan. The H2gO Life Run Club sounds pretty awesome.
Absolutely.
It's a lot better than the Hydration Station Run Club. So H2gO Life, nice job. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Good luck in Tokyo, too. She's running Tokyo, if you remember.
Fantastic. Yes, yes.
You know who else is running Tokyo?
There's a lot of people running Tokyo.
A lot. But come on. You can see her right now.
Hannah. Right? Hannah Banana. I love how she's always like, I can see me. Yes, we can.
I know.
And it's I love seeing Hannah in the background.
Yeah. So Tokyo in a couple of weeks. Good luck to everyone. I know probably by the time our next episode comes out, you'll be traveling out there. Good luck. Enjoy. Take in some of the food, but maybe after, don't have a code brown, Erica, if you were talking to anyone right now who's going to head out to Tokyo, being a Tokyo Marathon finisher, what advice would you give them?
Oh my gosh. Just take in the culture, respect the culture, because it is probably one of the cleanest places. So don't go littering. Just respect the way they do things out there. Eat the food. Definitely eat the food. I mean, I tried to be a little bit adventurous with some of my food, but I am not a seafood person, so I couldn't really do like the sushi but just eat all the food. You know what? Even though I had a marathon on deck, I was walking everywhere. I just wanted to see as much as I could squeeze in. So just see the sights. Don't be afraid to walk on those legs. I mean, if you're going for a goal race, I mean, maybe not do that, but just enjoy yourselves. I hope you get the good weather. I mean, it's a little too early, I think, when you're out there for the cherry blossoms to start being beautiful, but just enjoy. It's a different culture and it's gorgeous and just everybody is so wonderful out there. You'll have a blast and enjoy the race. Absolutely.
I don't think I could go out there and have that be my goal race. Like, I totally understand how cheap is your goal race. And I go to like Tokyo or New York or Boston, like I want to take it all in. So if it is your goal race, cool, great, awesome, do it.
When I head to Sydney this year, I'm just literally going to be enjoying myself the whole time. I will be taking the pictures. I will get the content because that's more of a once in a lifetime kind of race for me when I can just do cheap whenever. And at this point, Chicago is kind of like a goal race. I don't mind doing that because I've done it
50
before.
times. I mean,
exactly.
It's just
so
it's a
I know
cheap
what I'm in
marathon,
for. I know what it's way better crowd.
I actually think the ribbon you get for running in the cheap marathon is better than the medal in the Chicago Marathon.
I do not agree with you. Sorry, John. No. I want a medal for these things now. So as much as I do think it's cute to get the ribbon, I mean, it's really not that cheap of a race anymore. I got it for cheap, but some people are paying like $100 for it.
Well, speaking of medals,
just
we should throw this out there now. We're brainstorming March Madness ideas, right?
Yes.
And in about a month, probably halfway through March, we'll do the March Madness competition. But we have a couple, I'll say we have 3 categories we're really honing in on. One is shoe brands, the other one is medals, and the third one is races.
Yes.
So we had a friend of the pod, Patrick, reach out and give a suggestion. It involves maybe a little more work than Erica wants to do, but do you guys have an opinion? If we did March Madness, would you like to do medal comparisons? Would you like to do shoe comparisons or race comparisons? Now, the medals is cool. Patrick brought up a neat feature. Have the guests send us pictures of your medals. So we don't just say Boston versus New York or Ironman or this, that. We want actual pictures of your medals. Would you guys, is that an interesting enough topic for March Madness where we take your medals and we get 32 to 64? Like if we don't get 64, it will be a 32 team bracket. And we'll somehow pick them. Erica's like, you can't put Chicago against New York in round 1, but I think they should go against each other.
I felt like you should do it by region. And so you could have a Midwest, like a West Coast and East Coast. So you can kind of vary it up a little bit, but I don't know, unless do you want to go marathon versus like have the better 5K medals versus so I don't know.
I think you throw them all in there. Like, what's a cool 5K medal? Throw in my Ironman medal. Like, that's the one I'll throw in. I think
I got
it's super
buckles.
cool.
What about buckles?
Buckles are cool. Absolutely.
So it's something to noodle on.
So if you guys like that medal idea, let us know and we'll start collecting pictures. I think the easy out, which I was in favor of shoes anyways before medals. The easy out is shoes because I can just take screenshots. I also thought shoes was going to be very engaging, maybe get on the radar of some companies, but the medal thing could be really cool. And I agree when you say add buckles, 5K medal, we should definitely throw in the ribbon, right? So
they have some people get different things. Like you might not necessarily get a medal for completing a race. Like Patrick showed us an example where he got like a ring. That was really cool and different. And so if you get something else that might be cool to include, like there's so many options we could go with this. So many ways.
So let us know. We would love to do it. I think March Madness will start in about 3-4 weeks and we got to compile everything. And I'm just going to say right now, send everything to Erica.
Sure. Do it. Sure. I can handle it. I swear.
I think like we could probably just go to Rachel's house and take a picture of every medal.
Mine too. I got a ton. Yeah.
True. We could even do one of like Gooders. Could we do a mini March Madness of Erica's gooder sunglasses. Could we do that?
I mean, we could.
You definitely have 32 different gooders, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh my God. I want to do a little mini
no.
gooder one and get on Gooder's radar and then have Gooder sponsor the podcast.
They won't even
Let's do it.
accept me to be
Let's do
on
it.
their ambassador team, man. Like, hey, if this will help, sure.
Well,
but
why do you think that is, silly?
I didn't even know they
You
announced it. I
don't
feel
do
like now is
anything.
when they
You don't
announced it,
make-
but I
you
haven't
don't post
seen
the
it.
photo. You don't make the content. What have I been trying to get you to do for years? Everyone's like, oh
Actually-
my God, Erica's a mini influencer podcaster. She'll be great.
No.
They
the
always
only
go to
t-
you first, and then they realize you're not even the one
don't
behind the
do
On the
shit.
Runs account.
The
And they're
only
like, we don't want that guy. He doesn't have he only has a face for radio.
Shut up.
They don't like me because I don't know.
The only thing I ever influence people on is I can get people to run ultras when they really didn't think they
do.
wanted
I
to
mean, you
/ could.
have
So
the ability.
I
You
do.
have the
That's the
ability.
one thing I will own up to. I can influence somebody to, I don't know, step outside their comfort zone.
Yeah. Hey, a couple things before we wrap up. One,
Yeah.
I'm going to let you, before we end, guess the marathon. You can get one guess every episode. But two, you have been watching the Olympics quite a bit. What are your thoughts so far in the Olympics?
God, these sports are dangerous. They're so dangerous. We've been watching a lot of skiing, and they have this. I forget what it's exactly called, but it's like this downhill course. It's not slalom. It's not moguls. It's just a downhill course. And some of the skiers reach speeds of like 90 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
That just sounds so freaking dangerous. And like I learned that their little ski suits have an airbag in it, which I think is great because if you wipe out and you fall, like you have a little bit of safety.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
And it's
yeah.
science, so you enjoy that.
I mean, I just love people not dying on the mountain. Like, I
Right.
think that's great. But God, some of these events are just crazy. We watched a lot of skeleton over the weekend too, and
Crazy.
just wow, you guys.
I know.
How do you learn how
That's the
like,
head first one.
Yeah.
How did they come up? Like, why do you think they came up with that name skeleton? They're like, oh, let's try this thing. Let's go head first down an ice slide. And the
not gonna make
first
me
guy
wanna do it.
died, and all they could find was his skeleton.
It's okay.
So
you
like, we're gonna
have,
call it the
you
skeleton.
have a helmet. You're fine. It's still cool as shit, you guys.
You know what also looks
I'm glued to it.
dangerous?
What?
Pairs figure skating.
Oh, I'm sure. Like you're spinning people around and like the skates are going
And
everywhere.
then speed skating. Like
Mhm.
it's a NASCAR race, like bumper to bumper. They're hitting each other. They're
Mhm.
falling and crashing, and they got these massive blades on their feet. Like those
It's
would
so
just kill
dangerous.
somebody instantly.
Oh my God. Yep.
Hockey doesn't even compare on the danger level. Everything else is so much more dangerous, and it's neat that everything uses an edge. So your ice skate is an edge, your ski is an edge. The
Yep.
cross country skiing. Did you see what this guy did when he won the bronze medal in like the biathlon? Did you see what he did?
No, I missed that one.
He used that moment to confess his screw up. He met the love of his life 6 months ago. 3 months later, he cheated on her, and he thought that was the perfect
Bro.
opportunity to win her back.
No,
and said,
dude, no.
I'm sorry. I hope she's watching right now.
Yeah, now you look like an ass. Oh,
Not
that's
only
not the
that,
way, dude,
she
like-
she is like, I didn't ask for this, and now everyone is up in her DMs or calling her out. Not her out, but like
uh-huh.
she's like, one person knew, me. Now the entire world knows.
Whose fault is that, buddy? Oh my God.
I think in the moment he had good intentions,
Mm,
not realizing the scale.
poorly executed.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I mean, cheating is not something to take lightly. So I don't blame her if she doesn't take it back.
I mean, but it was also only 3 months into the relationship. Like, I mean, did you have an understanding
There's no
of where you were?
attachment. I don't.
It's
wanna
not
get
like you
into
were married for 30 years or even a year. But
yeah.
the Olympics have
Mhm.
been great. One question. Do you think indoor track should be a sport in the Winter Olympics?
Indoor track. So just like running indoor track.
Yeah, well, like all the
mean-
track events. You got the hurdles, the 1500. It's basically
see why
all the track
not.
events.
like a lot of the athletes stay in shape so they could be ready for a summer and a winter Olympics. Like
And the
you could do,
professional runners, track athletes do indoor track every year. There's like the
Yeah.
indoor track world championships.
yeah. Isn't it like the Diamond League or something? Like that happens every year.
Something.
Like there's a lot.
Do you think it
so-
would dilute the Winter Olympics though?
Not
Like,
really?
do they need it? Does the Winter Olympics need it? It's also not dangerous. Like the Winter Olympics, you said is dangerous. Like I kind of
feel like that's
into
not
that now.
that shouldn't be a requirement to be a Winter Olympic sport.
Your
But
life.
I'm
it should
thinking
be,
winter sports, like sure, outside cold weather stuff, but I don't know. It might draw in more people who might not necessarily like the winter sports, but may like the track and field kind of stuff.
I think it would be
Maybe.
great for track and field and running,
Yeah.
but I don't think it's necessary. But I've seen that argument now recently. Wonder what you guys think. Should indoor track be an Olympic winter sport?
Let's just say I would watch.
Well, besides that, the only other one I want to mention, and I'm not mentioning hockey here. You can bring that up if you want. Did you see this guy in the moguls? It's like 1 versus 1 in moguls. You go mogul, 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 and then you do a jump, and then you do more moguls. This is skiing, and then a big jump. And he messed up his jump. He went so high, upside down, landed, spun around, and crossed the finish line in first place backwards.
I did actually see that. I wasn't watching the race itself, but that clip popped up, and I am just shocked that he stayed upright. Like all
amazing.
skiing for me, I don't understand how you guys do it, especially at those speeds and with like crazy like obstacles. That's the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But so going back to that downhill one I was talking about. So you think you're somebody standing up is like this. These people are literally like, here's your flat road, and they're like, we're maybe like a 18-degree angle from like the ground. I don't understand how you can correct yourself after that and like just be like, okay, now I can finish skiing. Like you're freaking flat.
Especially
parallel.
moguls, which are like wicked bumps.
How?
Yeah.
This is
That was
what boggles
incredible.
my mind, but that's
Guys
why
should find
they
that
are at the
video.
Olympics and I am not.
Erica will share it on our feed. She will. She'll find it and share it.
Yeah, guys, I'll totally do that. But
The
that's
Olympics have been
bullshit.
fun. Winter Olympics I enjoy, and I never really thought of it until you said it. Yeah, they're dangerous. I like that.
Yeah.
So
Well, I was not the one to
hockey-
think of it, so can't take the credit.
yeah. Yeah. The women's hockey team is doing incredible. By this point next week, when the pod's back next week, the Olympics will be over. And Erica will give you her full in-depth analysis of every winner and every wrong. Oh, did you see last one? Figure skating. I think it was Paris figure skating. The French judges were corrupt, and they gave the Americans a much less score, lower score than what compared to everybody else. It was
No way.
obvious, apparently, they did this so the French pair team could win gold.
Wow.
And
No,
they
I did not
succeeded. They
see
did
that.
it 2 days in a row.
That's so shitty.
So let's just say like this. If every judge gave the Americans pair a 9, these judges gave the Americans a 6.
Oh, okay.
And they did it again the next day. The right amount to allow the French team to win. Like,
Wow.
That's kind of corrupt. Like, you need to
Yeah.
have.
That's shady.
Yeah, it is. And they do nothing. They do nothing to like. You shouldn't be scoring the team you're against.
That's true.
Right?
But how do you find
You're country
like, these
wise.
bipartisan judges? Like I don't know how they do that, but they need to revoke whatever license they have to judge.
They do.
That's not
they
okay.
really do.
Mhm.
But you know how to do that? You should, run for office in the Olympic Committee. Get
Me.
involved in politics.
Oh God.
Erica's
I would have to
favorite
learn
topic.
a lot more about sports. Yes, I would.
Yeah.
So
The Olympics are
Yeah.
fun. I like how they bring up these sports. I would honestly be okay if there was no hockey in the winter or no basketball in the summer because you just get to see these cool individual athletes. I think that's the cool part about the Olympics. And the pairs
Definitely.
are pretty cool.
Yeah.
But that's it for Olympic talk. One last thing I want to start doing all year long for the rest of the year. I
Sure.
mentioned last week, I teased I have a marathon in mind. I need to make sure I can make this work out logistically with the boss. And the boss isn't my wife. It's my actual boss. All right. So I plan to run a fall marathon if I can make it work out. I mentioned this last week and you're like, I'll figure it out. And I said, you can't figure this out if you have 100 guesses. So I'm going to give you one guess at the end of every episode. And I'll also get the fans, the listeners one, because a few have reached in and they've guessed. They thought there's one in Tennessee called Flying Monkey. That's not it. A couple think it's Philadelphia. I'm like, guys, if I said it's going to take you over 100 picks, it's not the Philadelphia Marathon.
Yes, that one was shut down really quickly. I
Yeah.
think you did like one of these like thumbs down ones. You know what though? I was gonna throw one out. Like if I get one guess an episode until whenever this race happens, I was gonna pick something out of the zone of the like. I think it's outside the U.S. I really do. And
I'm not
think
answering
my
those
pick-
questions because you asked
Okay,
me that
so-
last time and I gave no response.
So what I want you to do, if I actually guess it correctly, you write it down and the date that I say it for which episode it's in, and then we can revisit when I actually guess it right.
So you want to keep guessing even if you got it right?
I mean, if you're not going to tell me, like, how am I supposed to know? I want to know if I get it right eventually.
Yeah. You know what? If you ever get it, I will let you know. Again, I don't know if I can do it. I've asked one person to go if they want to run with me. So only one person knows.
What the hell?
It was a work person. So only one person knows.
Okay.
Right? So again, this is a marathon. I think I'll run if I can make it work logistically, and I'll train for it. I won't be able to commit to it until probably call it 2 months before. But I have it in mind.
You could still get at least in half marathon shape up to then, and then
Easy.
if you can
and
run
I'll run
it,
a half or something this fall. Even I'm going to run a half in May.
Yeah, there you
Boston Run to Remember. So
excellent. All right, so
what's your one guess?
my one guess today, the Florence Marathon in Italy. It's called the Firenze Marathon. Okay.
Well, you said Italy after that. I thought you meant like Florence, South Carolina.
There's a Florence, South Carolina. See, I didn't know that, but this one's in Italy. So I will keep guessing and write down my guesses for you for later on.
If you guys have a
gonna be a fun
guess, you
game.
can ask. But if you guess like 50 marathons, like is it this one, is it that one, is it, I'll never tell you. But if you randomly just guess this one marathon, I'll be like, that's it. Good job. And I'll send you something.
Okay.
Cool.
This is fun.
Great episode. After that awful intro that no one will hear.
We were having an off day, you guys, but this is why
The internet
we're pros.
was having
We
an off
fixed it.
day.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I have nothing else here to add. I am going to be enjoying a great day on Wednesday skiing. If any of you see it, be jealous. I don't care.
I hope you have a bluebird
You guys
day.
are like, do you work?
Not on Wednesday,
Listen.
you don't.
Treat yourself.
Yes. Insert that clip right there. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
2026.
What a cool episode, though. Kayla was amazing. You're great, Erica. But just invite me after ski season to go on some of these runs. You go, why can't I can't invite you because you don't know Hester. How the hell am I going to get to know Hester if I'm never invited?
He has a point.
So,
He has a point.
yes.
All
I
right,
do.
dude. All right.
Take us
After
home.
ski season, when it gets warm, I will be outside way more often. So you'll have plenty of opportunities to jump in whenever you like. How's that sound?
Love it.
Great. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for listening and sticking with us. You know we love you.
Don't fear the code brown.
Don't forget to stretch. Better?
It's so much. It feels so good when it goes like that.
Yeah, the other one was trash. Total trash.